is real and what is fake? What is make-believe and what is true? Today, that is what we are talking about here on our very special live stream. Yes, something a little different, in fact, because it is Wednesday and this is English Addict Extra. We are back together again, but this is a little bit different because we are here on Wednesday. Hi everybody. Yes, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are okay today. It is me, that guy who likes to pop up from time to time and talk about the English language. My name is Duncan. I love English. You might say that I am one of those up there. Can you see it? Up there. I am an English addict, and I have a feeling perhaps, perhaps you are one of those as well. Here we are together during October. For those who are wondering why I'm here today, well, today, of course, we are doing our live streams during the month of October. Not only today, but for the rest of the month as well. So that's the reason why I am here today, because it is October. This month I celebrate, can you believe it, my 17th. That is 17 years here on YouTube doing this. And I hope you will stay with me for the whole of October. Lots of special things coming your way as well. We also have the live chat. I can't do this without the live chat, of course. Hello, Vitas. Congratulations, you are first on today's live chat. Well done to Vitas. You are first today. Who else is here? Eleanor. We also have Mosen. We also have Hamda. Hello, Hamda. Nice to see you here as well. If you want to tell me where you are, you can. It's always nice to find out where you are watching. Du Nguyen in Vietnam, I believe. Hello to you. Omar is here. Palmyra is here as well. Today we are looking at an interesting subject. I think this is a subject that's been talked about almost all the time. Certainly over the past 6 or 7 years, I think it's safe to say that people have been talking about this particular subject. And the subject I'm talking about today is whether something is real or untrue. Whether something is true or false. Quite often in English, we will look at these things as opposites. True or false? Things that are real and things that are unreal. Maybe something that is said, maybe information that is given, perhaps an action, something we see another person doing. It might be true, it might be false, it might be reality, or it might be unreal. Especially in this day and age, you may have noticed that these days people are talking about artificial intelligence, and this seems to be the thing that more and more people are worried about. Will there be a time when we can't tell the difference between what is real and what is fake? The difference between something that is true or something that is false. So there are many ways of looking at what would appear to be very simple words, true or false. simple words, but they do have quite dramatic meanings. So when we look at something that is real, we are saying that it is true. We might also say that it exists in reality. If you walk around, maybe outside your house or around your local town, you will know, you will be sure that everything around you is true. It is real. So when we talk about reality in that sense, we are saying those things are obvious. They are right in front of you. You can reach out and touch those things. They are tangible. However, even things that seem real can be fake, false, or untrue. So I think that is the dilemma, the difficulty, the problem that we are entering into at the moment, where sometimes even if we feel as if something is real, it might not be. But I think one of the best ways to work out whether something is real, whether it is true or false, especially if you are outside in the real world, is to ask. Ask questions. Enquire. So there are ways, even in this day and age, there are ways of working out whether or not something is true or false. Aruto is here. Atoro. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. Atoro. Hello, Atoro. Thank you for joining me today. Yes, we are looking at true or false. Things that may be real and things that may be unreal. Eliana is here. Hello, Eliana. I guess you are one of the first English teachers on YouTube and also the best. Thank you very much. And yes, you are right. That is true. It is true. It is a fact that I am one of the first. In fact, I am the first. I was the first English teacher on YouTube ever in the history of YouTube. It's true. So that is true. It is not false. Something that is false is that I am going to stop doing this forever. That is definitely false. What is true is that I will continue doing this for as long as you want me to. So if one day you decide that you don't want me to do this anymore, maybe you become bored with what I'm doing, you can tell me and I will go away. I will go and do something else. But until that day, I can promise you it is definitely true that I will be here. Who else is here today? Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. Isn't it a nice surprise? Sometimes in life it is nice to get surprises. Now and again those surprises are nice, and this is one of them, I think. Zutsika is here as well. Hello to you. I haven't seen Lewis today. In fact, I think he was here on Sunday, but I haven't seen him here today so far. Hello to you. Hello also Dahl. Hello Mr. Duncan, you are the best English teacher. A big hug for you. We also have Claudia here. It's true. Definitely. Claudia is definitely here today. So when we talk about things that are real, we are saying they are absolute. They are true. If we talk about something that is not real, we are saying that it is untrue or fake. And there it is, fake. Something that is untrue or false. Something that cannot be trusted. So quite often when we look at something as being fake, we might also distrust that thing. So fakeness can come in many forms, many shapes and sizes. Maybe something you see, something you hear, or maybe a point of view that comes from another person, maybe something you see right here on the internet, which is something we'll talk about a little bit later on. So when we look at fake things, they are things that are unreal, untrue, or false. They are not real. Something that is unreal might be imagined or created in the mind. So something that is unreal doesn't necessarily have to be a lie. It can be something that is made, something that is artificial, something that appears real, but in fact isn't. And that is one of the reasons why these days many people seem to trust, or seem to mistrust, should I say, the media, news, the things we hear, the things that are told to us, especially through news organisations and also right here on the internet as well. So things that are unreal might be imagined. So maybe you are watching your favourite science fiction show, or maybe a movie, a fantasy movie, something that has been imagined. It is not real. It is not really happening. It has been created in someone's mind. It is unreal. A fake thing can be something that has been copied from something else. For example, you might create a picture or a copy of a famous picture or painting. So it is possible to recreate something that already exists and make it appear as if it is real. But in fact, it is not real, it is unreal, it is imagined. An illusion. The word illusion is an interesting word because it can refer to something you see, something that appears real. And I think it's worth mentioning the fact that quite often we see things that are not as they appear. An illusion. A magician, of course, might create an illusion. He might make something appear as if by magic, or perhaps he makes it disappear. But, of course, it is not real. It is just an illusion. It is a trick of the eye. We might also describe it as deceit. Something that appears real is not real. It is just an illusion. Something you think in your mind or you think you see is an illusion. It is not real. It is a trick of the eye. I like that word, by the way, that a trick of the eye. You can trick someone, you can fool someone, you can make a person believe something that is true when it isn't. Another way of showing something that is untrue or false, maybe you cover something. You try to hide something. And maybe a situation where you don't want the truth to come out, or you don't want to reveal the reality of something. So you might cover something, hide something, conceal something, or maybe keep that thing out of sight. So you might say that you are creating an untruth, or maybe creating something that is false, merely by hiding it, by removing it, by taking it away, or, of course, by covering it. So sometimes it is possible for a lie or something that is false to be another thing that has been hidden from view. Here's another word, pretend. A lot of people do this. I think it is safe to say that we all pretend sometimes. Maybe if you wake up in the morning and you don't feel happy, but you have to go outside and face the outside world. You have to mix with other people. Sometimes you have to pretend that everything is all right. You have to pretend that your life is great, even though maybe inside you feel as if it is not. Pretend to show an unreal side. So I think most of us, even me sometimes, even though fortunately I'm quite a happy person generally, and I like to have fun, I like to smile, but sometimes maybe I wake up in the morning and I don't feel so good. I don't feel so happy. Sometimes you have to pretend. You show an unreal side. You act out something. You pretend. You are doing something that is not genuine. You are appearing happy, but in fact, inside, you are not, unfortunately. Oh, I see. Luis Mendez is going away. He's going to Brittany. Brittany. Can you believe it? You might not believe it, but my family on my father's side originated in Brittany. Hello to... Oh, who else is here? I want to say hello to... If I can get my live chat working. I know I've said hello to Vitas. I don't know why it keeps popping up on my screen, but hello again, Vitas. Nice to see you here. Here's another one. You might put on a show. To put on a show means you are doing something that is not real. You are doing something that is not genuine. You are putting on a show. You are displaying fake emotion. Something that is not real, something that is not true. You put on a show. You might even say that you are putting on a performance, a type of performance, maybe. Claudia says, what is hallucination? Hallucination. Well, first of all, it's a great word. The word hallucination means you are seeing something that is not real. Quite often, hallucination comes from in your mind, quite often because of something you've taken, certain types of drugs, perhaps. They can give you hallucinations. Perhaps you are walking through a hot desert and you are feeling thirsty, and ahead of you, you see a beautiful oasis with a large pool of water, and you think, wow, I can't believe that I've seen that thing in front of me. So you run towards it because you're feeling so thirsty, and then suddenly it vanishes, it disappears. It was an illusion. It was an hallucination. You were hallucinating. So it is possible for a person to see things that aren't even there. They are hallucinations. If you are asking where Mr. Steve is, he's working today. He's working. You might put on a display. You are showing a false side of yourself. That means that you are pretending to do something. Perhaps you want to get sympathy from someone. Maybe you are looking for attention. So you pretend to cry. You pretend to be... Please give me sympathy. I want attention. Please give me attention on the internet. That sort of thing. These days you do find a lot of people coming onto the internet. They like to get attention, and sometimes they will pretend to be unhappy or sad. They will pretend to cry. They will pretend to be anything as long as it gets some sort of attention. Maybe a person pretends to laugh. Maybe your friend tells a terrible joke and you don't think it's funny at all, but you pretend to laugh. That is a very funny joke. Maybe your wife or husband comes back late at night, very late, and you are already in bed, but you are not asleep. But as your partner comes into the room, you pretend to be asleep. You pretend to be unconscious because you don't want to have a confrontation. Maybe you will save the argument or the fight until in the morning. So you might pretend to be asleep in bed. You pretend to be fast asleep. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do the opposite and pretend to be awake. I know sometimes that happens to me. Also, here's another one. You can fake something as a verb. So in this particular situation, something that is fake is being done or being used or being carried out as an unreal thing or something that is untrue, or maybe something you are pretending to do. Something can be faked. You can fake something. Maybe you fake your sadness. So that is me pretending to be sad. I know it's not very convincing. So some people have a fake personality. Maybe they have fake emotions because they want to get some sort of attention. You fake something. Maybe a person, or certainly in the animal world, quite often an animal will pretend to be dead to protect itself. Many animals do that. So they will fake death. They will fake being dead. They will stay very still. And in nature, it is often used as a means of survival. So to fool someone, if you fool a person, it means you are tricking them. You hoodwink that person. You act. You are doing something that is not real. It is not genuine. Maybe you cover something. To fake something can be also to cover something. You are doing something to cover the reality, to hide from the reality. There are many people who pretend to be someone else on the internet. We must be aware of that. Eliana, you are right. Yes, I will look at that in a few moments. We will look at the internet, and I think that is probably the most common place where fake things, lies, untruth, things that are true and things that are false. Quite often on the internet, it is hard to tell the difference between those things. So you can use the word fake as a verb. You can also cover something to hide it from other people. You can mask something. You are hiding something. As I said earlier, a person might pretend to be happy. They might pretend to have a smile on their face, but they are not really happy. To pretend that all is well, to pretend that you are happy, you feign. Oh, now there's an interesting word. You feign happiness. Feign means to do something that is not real. You are carrying out an action. You are pretending. You feign something. You are not really happy. You feign happiness. You are pretending to be happy. Amrita. Hello, Amrita. Very nice to see you, Amrita. Very nice to see you here on the live stream. It's okay. You are very welcome. My name is Duncan. I talk about English, and that's what I'm doing right now. To simulate is to act in an unreal way. To simulate something. So a thing that is a simulation is not real. It's not really happening. You are pretending. Quite often these days computers can produce simulations, something that might be dangerous to do in real life. You can simulate using a computer. So this happens quite often these days when we are talking about things that are dangerous, or maybe you want to see if something will be dangerous. So instead of doing it in real life, you simulate that thing. You simulate that particular thing. So why do we pretend to do things? Well, I suppose there are many reasons why we might pretend to do something. Why do we lie? Why do we spread untruths? To cover up one's true feelings. Well, I suppose if you pretend to be happy, you are covering up the fact that you are not happy. To cover up one's true feelings is to pretend. So maybe you are doing that. Maybe you are pretending to be happy. To hide one's misdemeanors. Oh, there's an interesting word. Misdemeanor. When we say misdemeanor, we are saying something you have done wrong. Something you've done that might be punished. Something you've done that was a mistake. Something that you intended to do, but that thing is bad. To hide one's errors, or maybe something they've done that might be seen as illegal. So you might pretend to be something or somewhere. You might pretend to be a different person. You might pretend that you were with someone because you want to escape being punished for a crime that you have committed. Here's another one. To hide one's real intentions. Sometimes you might hide your real intentions. To project a positive image to others is very similar to what I said earlier. Very similar to doing that same thing. To make oneself feel more confident. So sometimes we might tell ourselves something that might seem unreal or untrue, but in fact, in reality, it gives us motivation and confidence. So sometimes we have to tell ourselves, we have to say something that might not be true, but it is a good way of making yourself feel more confident or ready to do something. Maybe you have a fake appearance. Now this is an interesting one. When you meet a person for the first time, quite often that person will not quite be the real person. Quite often when we meet someone for the first time, maybe in a certain situation, maybe if you are going for a job interview, you might put on a slight fake appearance or a fake character. You might not be that real person because you don't want the other person to dislike you. Maybe if you go on a blind date or maybe a date with another person, you will often be on your best behaviour. Quite often you will hide all of those horrible things about yourself because you want the other person to like you. You want the other person to fall in love with you, perhaps. You might also have a fake expression. A fake expression, once again, relates to the appearance on your face. Fake reaction. Now, this is something that a lot of people do these days, especially if they are on the internet. Maybe they want to get lots of people watching them. Perhaps they watch a TV show, or maybe they watch a movie, or maybe another person's video on YouTube, and then they react to that thing. So this is something that's become very common here on YouTube. People reacting to other things. However, and yes, I am going to say this, quite often they are not real things. They are not real reactions. They are fake reactions. Anyone can pretend to react to something. For example, oh my God, what? I can't believe it. I can't believe they did that. This will make a very good thumbnail, by the way. There we go. So, fake reaction. Quite often people will react in a fake way. They will pretend to be like something that they are not. Sometimes because they want to get attention. You might have a fake personality or even a fake life. There are people who go through their whole life pretending to be someone else. It is not uncommon. Some people have a double life. It's an interesting expression. A person who has a double life is a person who has two different things happening in their lives that are opposite to each other. Maybe someone is having a double life with two different partners. Maybe they appear to be one person to that individual, and to the other person they are someone else. So it is possible to have a fake personality or even a fake life. It can happen. To put on a brave face, to hide your fear or anxiety. So if you put on a brave face, it means that you smile. You want to give the appearance of not being worried, not being scared. For example, tomorrow I'm going to the dentist. I am going for a dental appointment tomorrow. So when I get to the dentist, I will have to put on a brave face because I don't want to go to the dentist. I don't want to have someone poking and prodding inside my mouth. And I definitely don't want any pain. So tomorrow when I go to the dentist, I will put on a brave face. I will pretend to be okay, even though I will probably be a little bit nervous, to be honest. So here we go. This is something a lot of people do, especially on the internet. If you go to websites or social media platforms like Instagram, especially Instagram, or maybe TikTok, or maybe here on YouTube, you might find that there are people who are pretending to have a different life to the one they really have, to appear better or wealthier or healthier than you really are. So this one, the one in the middle, wealthier, there are many people these days on the internet who appear to have lots of money or appear to have a very glamorous life. But in reality, they don't, because many people like to see wealthy people. They like to watch rich people. They like to admire people who appear to have better lives than the person watching. It happens. I don't know why. I never quite understand why people are so attracted to watching wealthy people throwing their money around. I've never understood that, to be honest. So on the internet, there are many people who appear to have better lives. Maybe they are standing in front of a private aeroplane and they are pretending that that plane is theirs. Or maybe they are standing next to a very expensive sports car and they are pretending that that car belongs to them. But it doesn't. It is all fake. Hello, Bo Shine. Hello there. Welcome to my live stream. We are looking at words and phrases connected to being false or fake. To appear healthier. Some people do this. They might be suffering from a serious illness. They might be in pain, but they will pretend to be fine. They will put on a brave face. They will pretend that they feel fine, when in fact inside they don't. Yes, Claudia, you are right. It is very important to look after your teeth. Even teeth can sometimes be fake or false. Yeah. The reality of something is normally one person's view or perception. So when we talk about reality, it is normally individual. It is quite often something that is subjective. So one person sees the world in a certain way, whereas another person might see it slightly differently. So it would be fair to say that all of our realities are slightly different from each other. I think it is fair to say. Which is why sometimes we want to project a certain type of reality onto other people. We want to appear better than we really are, wealthier than we really are, healthier than we really are. The reality of something is normally one person's view or their perception, the way they see the world around them. Here we go then, the internet. If ever there was a place where people quite often pretend to be something they are not, it has to be here on the internet, on YouTube, maybe on certain social media platforms. People pretend. Maybe they create something that is not real or true, and then they post it onto the internet. So I suppose in this modern age, it has become a big problem. Things that are shown on the internet are often fake or staged. Now, I suppose I'm being a bit unfair saying often. Some people might say, Mr. Duncan, you are being very unfair. Quite often things on the internet are true and real. But when you go to certain websites or certain social media platforms, it is very hard to tell the difference between what is real and what is fake. And I think that is one of the big problems with the internet. And we hear about this every day. We hear about it, especially when we're talking about politics, or maybe if you're trying to get a certain reaction from your viewers, you might do something that is unreal or something that is untrue, and that's what you will do. It will be unreal. It will be untrue. So the internet, and as I mentioned earlier, sometimes maybe things that you see on the news might not be real. They might have been staged or rehearsed before they happened. A dramatic moment might not be real. And this has happened in the past. There have been many occasions where something that many people have believed to be true has turned out to be fake or false. So it does happen. It can happen on the internet. It can happen in the news. It can happen almost anywhere. And this is something a lot of people do these days on the internet. If you want to get a little bit of attention, if you want to get people clicking on your videos, you play a trick or you play a prank on someone. You do something to another person that makes them feel embarrassed or upset. However, quite often, these particular videos, this particular type of content is fake because everyone in the video is involved. They all know each other already. So I'm sure you've seen at least a dozen videos, maybe today, maybe already you've been watching things on the internet and you've been watching certain types of video. Maybe some of those videos were not real, even though they appeared to be real or true. They might actually be fake. It happens. And a lot of people have revealed these things. Things that are true, of course. I think it is much easier to talk about things that are true because they are things that we believe. They are things that are precious to us. They are things that we have faith in. They are things that we want to believe in. We want to believe something. You have to believe something in life. Sometimes that belief can be an illusion. Some people are even aware that the thing they believe in is an illusion, but it makes them feel better. So truth can appear to be real, but sometimes it is not. As I said earlier, each person has their own reality. Something that one person sees as true might be another person's falseness or fakeness. Something that is fake, unreal, and untrue. So I think it's a very interesting subject to cover, and that's the reason why I wanted to cover it today, because I think it's an interesting subject to talk about. Next time you click on the internet, next time you watch one of those funny videos with one person doing something to another person, maybe they are tricking them or pranking them, or maybe you see something that appears to be real, maybe, just maybe, that thing is not as real as it appears. Vitas uses a very interesting word, counterfeit. Yes, something that is counterfeit is something that is fake. Quite often we think of money, fake money, even though these days so few people use money. I don't really use cash anymore. Most people now use their cards, debit cards, credit cards, their cash point cards, their ATM cards. Maybe you will take some money out of the machine, but these days not many people do that. And certainly not many shops or businesses will accept cash. So maybe in the future, counterfeit money or fake money won't be such a problem because most people won't be using it. I will be going in a moment. This is just a short live stream today. I will be back with you on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time with Mr. Steve. Steve will be with us on Sunday. And of course, there will be some new recorded lessons coming up as well. I put one on yesterday. Did you see it? Did you see my new live lesson? My lovely, not live lesson, recorded lesson. And also my live stream that I did on Sunday. Am I half awake today? Maybe. I might be half awake today. We will see what happens anyway. Good luck at the dentist. Thank you very much. I hope tomorrow the dentist will be gentle with me. I hope the dentist will treat me gently, because I don't like going to the dentist, to be honest, and I have a feeling that you might not as well. See you on Sunday, and of course there will be some new recorded lessons coming up as well. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching, and when you see something you're not sure about, never be afraid to ask. That is my advice. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. We all do. Don't forget to give me a lovely like as well. Please give me a like. That would be ever so nice. Click that like button. And I will see you soon. And of course, ta-ta for now.